What if I told you that you could have the perfect Disney vacation without ever stepping foot inside of a theme park? Today, we're exploring the resorts that are so good you won't even miss the crowds at the Magic Kingdom.
That's right. Between rising ticket costs and the stress of Lightning Lane, more and more travelers are choosing to lean into the resort life. But not every Disney hotel is built for this.
So we've narrowed it down to the top 5 resorts that have enough dining, atmosphere, and activities to be a destination all on their own. So let's get to our first stop.
Number 5 on our list is Coronado Springs.
Yeah, so this one makes a lot of our lists because the value there is just really good most of the time. It's a moderate level resort, so it's not the most expensive resort on property, and it offers so many amenities. First of all, the pool is a very nice pool. It has the largest hot tub on property, but the biggest thing that resort has going for it is that it has so much dining and drink options. So it's really good if you're going with only adults. Like if it's an adults only or a couples trip, that's where you're gonna have the most fun at that resort because there's so many restaurants and bars to hang out at. It's a quick bus ride to Disney Springs, not too far away. You're not staring at theme parks that you're not going into. I have so many good memories there, and there's so much to do that even in about 5 stays now, we haven't been able to hit all the bars and the restaurants. And Sangria University, we kind of went outside our comfort zone and did like an extra pay activity a few months ago, and we did Sangria University. That was a really cool experience. It's one of my favorite Disney experiences that we've had. We came home wanting to teach everybody how to make sangria and then wanting to go to Spain and get like sangria in Spain. So it inspired a lot. That trip will come in a future time.
Right. Yeah. Coronado Springs, you have the typical, kind of food court style dining there that every resort has. And then you have like more of a signature style dining with Toledo. And then you have everything in between.
Yeah.
There are so many options to eat there. It blows away every other moderate and value resort at Disney World in that category. That alone makes it a great option if you were doing a stay without the parks. And then, like you said, it's also kid friendly too. I agree that it works really well for adults. But it would also work well, like with one of our sons, a teenager that we have that's very into food.
Oh, he'd love it.
So if we were going for like a long weekend and staying at a resort, even if we had him with us, he would be very happy there.
Yeah.
But a lot to do. And it's also a great resort too because you've got the choices on the room types.
Yep.
So you have flexibility on what kind of a stay you want there that's a little unique to that resort. Mm-hmm. You can stay in the tower, you can stay in the village rooms, so you've got some flexibility there as well.
Yeah. Always a good option. Choosing Coronado. All right. What is number 4?
Number 4 is Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, and that's another one that we surprisingly find on a lot of our lists, our positive lists. And the main reason for that is because usually when we stay there, we request a room. First of all, it's a DVC only property. So you're going to get a villa. You're going to have a kitchenette. If you're in a studio, if you are in something bigger than a studio, like a 1 or 2 bedroom, you're going to have a full-size kitchen, a washer and dryer. So it's a really great place to set up if you're bringing your family and you want to maybe save some costs on dining and just bring in some groceries. But then we usually request staying in Congress Park, which is the closest section to Disney Springs. It takes about 5 minutes to walk to Disney Springs. So you have all those dining options. You have shopping. You have the Cirque show. all the activities that they have at Disney Springs that are really close without going into the parks. So that's the main reason that we really love Saratoga, is if we're going to spend a lot of time at Disney Springs and we're not going to the parks very much, it's a really, really good option. You really can't get better than that one.
Being the closest resort to Disney Springs, that alone probably gives it merit to be on this list. But I'll add one other thing that I think is that Saratoga Springs has going for it for this list specifically, and that is it is one of the cheapest options for Disney hotels if you do want some extra space. So if you're looking at 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, it's one of the cheapest options, which, you know, maybe if you're doing a stay without the parks, and especially if you have a little bit larger group or older kids, whatever it may be, then that could be another draw to Saratoga Springs. Is one of the cheapest options to get that extra living space during your stay.
Yeah, it is. All right, if you're enjoying this video and you'd like to see more like it and more travel content, we have new content every week, and we would love it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. All right, number 3.
Number 3 on our list is Port Orleans Riverside.
Yeah, so I honestly give this one a lot of hate sometimes because it is so large, and I've had some not so great experiences there because of the size of the resort. But when I go to the resort to visit, and then the one time I stayed in a preferred room there, I've had a really good time. And it lends to being a really good resort to just hang out and not go to the parks. I think my biggest hang up with it is, again, I always recommend a preferred room because you are going to be closer to the food court, closer to the boat dock, and all the activities that they have there. But another thing I don't love about it is when you're catching the bus to the parks, you have to go around to several different bus stops, and it takes quite a while. But if you're not hitting the parks, that's not going to be a problem. It's just a really fun resort. It has the carriage rides. There's Surrey bikes, which one day we will rent a Surrey bike. There's the boat to Disney Springs. So you, again, like Saratoga, it's convenient to those options. I don't know if you've ever caught Yeehaw Bob. I think he's still there on the weekends, but he's he plays the piano in the lounge. It's a really good time. It's good for kids and adults. There's fishing. You can take a fishing excursion on a pontoon boat, or there's the fishing hole where you can just go. It's a catch and release where you can fish with your family. The pool is fun there. The pool bar is fun, and there's actually a lot to do. And if you're not going to the parks, I do think it's a really good place, and it's a moderate resort, so it's going to be a lower price than the deluxe.
Yeah, some of these resorts can make different lists that we put together. Some good, positive, if you want to look at it that way. Some maybe not so much, for different reasons.
Yes.
But this one I think definitely belongs on the list for everything that you named. A lot of activities there. Plus, you still have easy transportation to Disney Springs, which would be a big plus if you're not going into the parks. And let me add one more in there, and that is that you also can easily walk from Riverside over to French Quarter too, which would be a lot of fun as well. Yeah. Go get maybe a little bit different kind of food. Go grab a beignet. Check out that other resort. It's an easy walk.
Yeah, I think we have like a quota. We have to mention beignets on every episode of our show.
I am waiting for the check from Disney for a little tiny fraction of beignet sales.
Yeah.
That check hasn't come yet. But
one thing I also want to add is that they do have rooms. It's the cheapest, I believe, the cheapest resort where you can sleep 5 people. So that's another positive for that resort.
Right.
Okay, let's get to our top 2. What's number 2?
Number 2 is Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, so again, that's one that we hear a lot of people say that the thing they don't like about it is that it's very isolated and it's far away from the parks. But if you aren't going to the parks, that's not a concern. And with this list, when we were making it, I really thought about the fact that if I'm going to a resort, now I've been to the parks several times, but it's still hard for me to go to a resort and see a park and not want to go into the park. So it's actually a positive that the resort is so isolated in this case. And it's just beautiful, especially if you get a savanna view room. We have had some trips where we saw so many animals, especially in the early morning and in the evening time when the sun isn't, beating down in midday sun. The animals seem to like to come out then. It's the pools there, both Kidani, which is the DVC property there, and then Jumbo House. The pools are fun. They're pretty. They have great splash pad for the kids. They do like a nighttime talk about the animals. Every resort that is on this list and at Disney has the campfire where you can pay a little extra and roast marshmallows and make s'mores. They have the movie Under the Stars. It's just it feels more special when you're doing it next to a savanna, I guess. The rocking chairs out there in the overlook. Then they also offer for an additional charge where you can do a nighttime safari ride. Starlight Safari, I think is what it's called. Which, where else can you do that? At a hotel at Disney or anywhere near Disney. So that's why we really love that resort. We don't dislike it, even though it's made the bottom of some of our lists for different reasons. And we like the food there. That's another thing we hear about it, is that the food is limited. You can still hop on a bus. You still have the option to get on a bus and go to Disney Springs to get food there. And you have all those options. But we like the food there. I like the buffet, the Boma buffet. And I do like Mara, which is the food court.
Yeah, and I think out of all of the Disney resorts, and most of them do, I think, but out of all of the resorts that have more than one pool, I think both pools at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and maybe you can help me with this. I believe you do have, if you're staying there, you have access to both.
You can use both.
Both pools are like feature pools. Yeah. And we were really impressed. It wasn't that long ago that we went to Kidani for the first time. And when we saw that pool, it had a great kids like splash area and playground area at the pool.
I was amazed at how cool that pool was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, this one, like, we've been sleeping on this pool because I could hang out there all day.
Definitely. Yeah. I think we definitely could have fun, especially with the pools and the animal interactions, and a weekend or a long weekend just hanging out at that resort, and that's why it came in at number 2.
Yeah.
And before we get to number 1, I think that we should say that our favorite overall resort at Disney didn't make this list.
Right.
And we did purposefully leave off the resorts that are right next to a theme park. Because we felt that it would be a little bit of a tease, maybe, if you were just staying at the resort and never going into the park, to be right there where you can see it.
Yeah.
And so we did leave off. That doesn't mean that a couple of those resorts that isn't some of our favorites and that we would have a great time at, but that's how we kind of looked at this list.
Yeah, exactly.
So, getting to number 1 now. Number 1 is Fort Wilderness.
Yeah, so I've said it before. We talk about it a lot. You could go there and spend probably a week and not run out of things to do, not get bored. It's just got so much. It really is like its own full destination. So they have, you can camp in a tent. Not my ideal setup, but I'm sure if you do like camping in tents, that's a great place to do it, and that's definitely the cheapest way to stay on Disney property. You can bring in a camper, an RV. They rent spots for that, and then the cabins, which they just built or brought in. I don't think they build them there, but they bring in those modular cabins, and they're pretty new. They're like a year and a half old at this point, and they sleep up to 6 people, and they're really cute. They have the internal bus system, so it is a very large and spread out resort. They have the internal bus system that makes it easy to get from one place to the other. You can also rent golf carts, which most people recommend doing if you're staying there. We've went there before. I've done the horseback riding, which I had so much fun. Took my youngest son. He wasn't real excited about doing it. He's young teen. At the time, he wasn't that excited about doing it, and he loved it. I loved it. I figured I would. We go visit the horses at the stables a lot. They have pony rides there for young kids. They have fishing excursions. They have canoe rentals. I'm probably forgetting something. I know they have the Chip and Dale campfire sing-along. Mm. So they have the campfire pit where you can roast marshmallows and like the other resorts, but then you also get Chip and Dale who come and do a meet and greet, and that's a fun experience. The Hoop-de-Doo Review is it's a dining experience that people love. It is, you have to pay for it, but people love that. It's been around a really long time. We've gone and just hung out at the food court, quick service restaurant there before.
Trails Inn.
Trails Inn. Yeah. I feel like I'm probably forgetting some important things that maybe you can fill in, but it's just really, I want to go there sometime and stay there and just hang out there.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with all the things you were naming to make sure that you did name them all, and I lost track myself. But there is so much to do, and Krista and I, we have spent a considerable amount of time at every Disney resort. We have not stayed at 2 of them.
Right. We haven't slept at 2.
We haven't slept at 2 of them. One of them is Fort Wilderness. Mm-hmm. And I keep saying, every time that we're going back to Disney, and is there a cabin available? Let's look and see, because we want to stay there, because we've been there several times spending time, and we do enjoy it a lot. We think it's a lot of fun. We think it would be even more fun to stay there and rent a golf cart and just really enjoy the resort and ride around and experience all of those different activities. And let me say one more thing about Fort Wilderness too. I think it's one of the best, maybe the best resort on Disney property that I think applies to all ages.
Oh yeah. I feel like it would be a good time for just about anybody. And I also, when you say you want to stay there, I do too, but the hang up I get a lot of times is I want to stay there when we don't have to go into the parks, when all we're doing is staying at the resort.
Yep.
So I feel like that's a really good reason why this is number 1 on our list.
It is the reason. It is number 1 on the list. We have said that very thing, like, let's stay there when we can spend at least a full day, if not longer, just at the resort. So...
Oh, I think you can rent bikes, possibly. Maybe people bring their own bikes. I don't know. Someone knows if you can rent bikes, but I've seen people riding bikes around there too. There's trails you can walk on. Just really cool experience. And I actually would recommend it more for people not going to the parks than the people going to the parks. So,
yeah. So, if you enjoyed this list, check our channel out. We have lots of other videos about Disney resorts especially, and we have other lists. as well. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.